Making a sale in the cashier client. Once you've logged into the A to G client, you will see this screen. Clicking on the arrow button will take you to the sale panel where you can search for an item under the sales item search button or tab. Clicking on the dollar sign takes you to the payment item panel. And then clicking into the search bar will automatically start to autocomplete results as you type. So let's begin. First off, you have to add a customer to your transaction. So as you start typing, you'll see that the items will start autofilling on the left, and you can pick your customer after it's showed up. If it doesn't show up, then of course you'll have to add the customer, which will be covered in a later video. So once you've added your customer, you'll see that it will display here on the bottom right-hand side as the customer is added. Now you can select your items. You can select your items in two different ways. You can use the arrow to go to your item sales search, or you can start typing the item in the search bar up above. I'm just going to pick this one for now. And as you see, this one has a workflow attached. If it doesn't have a workflow attached, then you can simply select it and it will show up in the grid. However, if there is a workflow attached, anything that has a red asterisk beside it will need to be filled in. Once you've filled in all the required fields, you can scroll down to the bottom and click on OK. Now it's showing up in the grid. This area here is the transaction detail grid. It will show each item as you entered it. This item that we just added is an open item, which means that this item does not have a dollar value attached to it. So then it can be changed. We're just going to add $10 into this as that's what the customer wants to add to this deposit. And we've already done the workflow for it. If you need to go back and check your workflow, you can just click here on Edit Workflow and it will pop up and show you exactly what you've typed in. Once you say OK, that's it, it's done. Now, if you wanted to add a second item, you could do that by just typing in the search bar. I'm going to do copies. So photocopies also needs a workflow. Okay. And once you've filled it in, you can click OK, and it will also populate in the detail grid. The other thing you might note is that this area here is the summary grid. In this summary grid, you will see the customer name that you've associated with this transaction, the subtotal of the tax and the amount of items and the transaction total. You'll also see the amount remaining as long as it hasn't been paid. So as you notice, the complete button here is grayed out. The reason it's grayed out is because we haven't taken a payment yet. But if you hover over the question mark, if you're ever in doubt and you don't know why you can't complete a transaction, that question mark will tell you exactly what's missing. This one says the transaction does not balance. And as you see, it's got an amount remaining of $10.57. We haven't taken a payment yet. So now we can go back up to the payment items and select our payment type. Now, this particular terminal that I'm on doesn't have a PIN pad associated with it, so I cannot take a credit card, debit card. I could take a check or a cash payment. However, I'm going to do cash. Okay. So now you see that the complete button is available. It's now blue. If you hovered over the question mark again, it says the transaction can be completed. So now you can hit the complete button or press F9 to complete this transaction. Once you do that, it will start to print a receipt and open the cash drawer. My terminal doesn't have a receipt printer or a cash drawer, so I'm just going to save my receipt on my desktop. And now you've completed your transaction. Let's cover a couple more basic items. If you're going to search for an item and you select something and it's not exactly what you want, you can go back by hitting the back button or the reset button. Either one will get you back to the beginning of the search item tab. Okay. You can drill down by vendors or you can drill down by departments and classes to get to the item. If you don't want that item, you can hit cancel. Will take you to the beginning of the grid again. Now let's cover the gear. This gear, if you select it, allows you to do other functions in the cashier grid. You can cancel a transaction if it's not completed. You can reverse a transaction that has been completed. You can reprint a transaction. You can start an order or retrieve an order. You can add instructions to a receipt. You can open a cash drawer or trigger the cash drawer to open by pressing this button, or you can complete your reconciliation. You can run a transaction report. And if need be, you can refresh your screen. I'm just going to hit cancel just to make sure we have a clear transaction screen and you're ready for your next transaction. And that does it.